and welcome. Okay. Hello and welcome back to a personal code of conduct. I am currently testing a bunch of towels on my head to see whether I improve the audio. I doubt if that's going to work, but whatever. So last week I said I was going to talk about being a global citizen, but then again I'm still going to postpone it because I haven't researched, and I feel like it's something that is near and dear to my heart. Let me just explain the concept of being a global citizen. I consider it as an individual who is not tied to being in a particular country or place or area, but doesn't have to renounce their citizenship or whatever. Like somebody who has a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, a plan E and F. I think it's just my what they call it, is my irrationality about my irrational fear that everything is going to collapse. But I consider an individual a global citizen when they don't have to emigrate anywhere, where they are able to create sustainable structures in their home country while being able to travel the world and meet people and enjoy things and understand things and just be awesome. Then also making an impact, because this is something that I have to properly define for myself, create a roadmap, decide, because I can see the end. I see the end as me as an individual that's be able to create possible investments, and especially the new organization that I've joined gives me that, that ginger, so to speak, that okay, this is possible. I can actually make a change without being a poor revolutionary. Because let me be honest, I don't believe in communism. Human beings are too trash for that. We are too trash for everything. So it's but capitalism, unchecked capitalism is something that I do not believe in. I believe that the government should be on the side of the people, but people are enterprising. People want to gather more. People want to. But if you have a society with limits and you have definitely, it's not you're giving people free things. People are still fighting for the things they want. People are still deciding they want to contribute to society. But you need to understand that there are limits, stabilities, and rules and regulation in place. To understand that the number of people who fall through societal cracks are highly limited, and that way you get stability. And sometimes I wonder how we are going to get around doing that, considering the fact that we have over 10 million people who are unable to see a sustainable future and just want to cause destruction. But then again, well, a 200 million nation, we'll sort it out. Whatever, our neighbors are small. I don't know, it'll be fine. So that's the intro of me. I'm just talking about how I'm not going to talk about that topic. And I spent how many minutes talking about that topic? Okay, 3 minutes. So this week we'll be talking about self-doubts, irrational fears, and constant, because I know I'm a perfect student. I've always been a perfect student, but that is just irrationally worried that she's going to bank, which she won't, because there's nothing in all my texts I do not recall or understand. So what are we going to be talking about? We'll be talking about irrational fear. We'll be talking about our romanticness. I think I should talk about our romanticness. We should be talking about efforts, because I think this is one thing that I constantly say in every single podcast where I'm not in the mood to put effort into human relationships. And I realized that I kind of am, but I also roll with people who are also not in the mood to put effort into human relationships. So there's that. So, self-doubt and our romanticness. So that's the intro. In Dyer's usual low-effort fashion, we'll be looking at 3 articles speaking about self-doubt. Then I don't even know if we'll still have time for their romanticness, but we'll be looking at 3 different articles. One from Tiny Buddha, one from Nick Wignall, and one from Lifehack. I don't know, some random ass BuzzFeed X websites. Now this one is just 5 common causes of self-doubt, past mistakes and experiences. I'm that individual who is always oh my god, I should have graduated with a fucking first class. I blame year 4 and year 5 and me just not giving a shit about my perfect GPA. But whatever, I'm moving forward, whether it's slow or it's steady or it's, because I still don't have a path, and and not putting maximum effort into anything, but it seems to be paying off eventually by squandering a whole year of squandering opportunities. I'm still very bitter about squandering last year's opportunity and spending 7 months of my life in a small organization, even though I deserve better, even though I know, yes, Dio knows that he interviews very well because of that 7 months in a small organization where he had to be dealing with individuals that needed convincing, that needed persuasion. Dio has gotten very good at persuasion, and she's grateful for that. But like, I could have probably learned that in a larger organization, but I feel like it's really added to my skill sets. It has made me more of a memorable individual. And I have this weird concept of shyness. Like I can be. I'm shy in like in non-corporate situations, but like I have an obsession to shine when I'm not shy. I don't know. I can be disturbingly competitive, but it'll be fine. Past experiences and mistakes. I don't know. I think I'm getting past my whole like, oh, let's check everything, let's regret everything. Like, because being it will be fine, it'll be fine. And then again, and there's one thing I've realized makes me like feel better is creating a plan B. Because I remember when I was having this issue with my new organization and they were taking time to like settle us in and everything. I just zeroed my mind that, oh, okay, if this doesn't work out, I still have my master's plan, whatever. Now that I have plan, I have to start making a plan B. Having a plan B keeps me calmer. Meaning I have to seriously start like improving my Fiverr offerings. Like I keep saying that, oh yes, I'm going to be like a better like freelance person. I need to start earning dollars if I want to be a serious human being. But like since like I understand like having a plan B always keeps me calmer. It always keeps me grounded in a sense. Yes, I'm going to fight. Yes, I'm going to put it all in, but it's also important to have a plan B in whatever you're doing. So, like, I need to develop that plan B, and then anyways, Dio really needs dollars, so there's that. I don't think I have any traumatic past experiences, so maybe they're so deep, far up my like consciousness that I'm like, I've deleted it from my mind. Childhood upbringing. No, like everybody around me has always said I was awesome. I was one that came up with that. I think it's just like being awesome all your life, then all of a sudden you're not awesome anymore, and you meet people equally as awesome, and then you like start to question. Like I'm very sure I've had this conversation. Well, up until I was 7, I was convinced I was the only like sentient human on this planet. But like that's just hubris. We've had the conversation about ego, hubris, being an asshole, which I kind of am a lot. But I have extended my assholeness into my head, it has really helped in maintaining human relationships. But like, rather than childhood upbringing, I'd say like exposure to the world beyond my house. Comparisons with others. Yes. And did I say yes again? Yes. Like, I understand that I'm in personal journey and I am operating on the concept of optimistic nihilism, but like I always say, knowing is not feeling. As I recently learned in an emotional intelligence class, self-awareness, yes, is the first step towards emotional intelligence, but it's just completely worthless without self-management. So like, but then again, I still like my knowing is not feeling slogan rather than self-awareness leading to self-management or whatever. Comparison with others. You can easily compare work or performance with colleagues. Yeah, and I think it came from a huge, especially when we go back to my whole understanding that other human beings are sentient. It came with two realizations. The understanding that I am no less than anybody, neither am I no better. But understanding that you're no less, nor are you no better, doesn't justify, like, sometimes it irrationally justifies your irritation with underperforming human beings, but it also creates an obsessive amount of self-doubts with people who perform better than you. Because even though you understand that, yes, individuals are no less, no better, you're a creation of factors and what have you. Well, even with the limited understanding of factors, you find yourself being in a situation where you start to compare. Yes, but your lived experience is completely different from another person's lived experience. How they view the world, how they view themselves, how they understand their society, how they exist is completely different from something that you understand, because you're not them. You do not love the people they love. You do not make the concessions they make, or maybe you don't even have the same like brain pathways. Yes, in the grand scheme of things, you are equally insignificant, but there are minute differences that matter to you on a micro scale, or what have you. Maybe I even include what I'm studying for in this podcast, so I'll be like, oh yeah, I studied for hours and I totally understood it. Like, in a kind of situation, like I had a class on Thursday, Friday that everybody was like just being quiet. I had a bunch of questions, but I felt I had stuck out too much, like asking a bunch of questions from like Monday to Wednesday. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to ask any questions. These are not difficult. This is just me seeking for like a discussion pathway. And yeah, I did seek out for a discussion pathway, but in some cases, but like I held back even though I had a lot to say, because I was like, what is the profit with this conversation? I'm just alienating like members of my colleagues or members of my class by sticking out, because you have this like, that is one thing that like, if you are an individual who sticks out so much, you find yourself in this weird situation where the people who like you really like you, like they like you so much, and the people who detest you from the bottom of their soul, like not from the bottom of their soul, within reason, because your interaction, if you do not love somebody, they are unimportant. Like that's the one thing. Like people who are currently afraid of everything that is going on, like other individuals around the world, they are afraid of this formless, non-existent thing. But like, if they pinpoint of who are these other people they're worried about, who are these people saying things, who are these people that are bothering them, they cannot add a face to that voice. They cannot create like a mind to that voice. So like the people who truly like, yes, you can have like a mental breakdown with the idea that society is watching you, but like the people who shatter you are the people you love, in that kind of sense. So like in that kind of situation, if it doesn't make any sense to be bothered, but like it goes back to the whole knowing is not feeling, self-awareness and the understanding of your own psyche is this. But like, wanting people preservation should not be the enemy of self-preservation. It's about balance, and which is something that I feel is very difficult for a lot of humans to achieve, because when you're just attempting to balance things, it's easier to just go overboard, because if you feel things, you feel things strongly. I don't even know whether this is like a rebuttal or just an examining of my own feelings. But this is a personal code of conduct. Daya is just examining her feelings. So let's go on to the other article. 3 causes of self-doubt and how to conquer it for good. The one was comparing yourself to others. We've had a conversation, fixation on a particular outcome. Yes, I like how this is different. Like, obviously, comparison is not only the false source. Now, the outcome I see is in 5 years in the future. I see myself already at managerial level. Maybe it comes to a form of comparison to something, because I'm related to an individual who also got into like a corporate environment and has become a corporate superstar, which, as the younger sibling, I expect to go on to become a corporate superstar. But like, there's that. It's like you want to expect yourself to do well, to excel, to be a global ambassador. Yes, and that's one thing. Like, but obviously, it is a multinational, but it's an African source multinational. But I think it's something that's large enough. I'd be large enough to be invited for the One Young World, I feel. But it's not that big of an honor, but it's just an opportunity to travel on company money. But what is the outcome? My particular outcome that is the main source of like self-doubt in all situations is, I do not want to wake up at 30 desiring to kill myself. Like, that is not something I want. I do not want to wake up at 30. I don't know why 30 is the irrational age. Like, I'm 7 years to 30. 7 years doesn't seem like a lot. It seems like a lot until I remember that I'm 7 years from 16. Like, 7 years to 30, it seems like a lot. Then I remember that I am 7 years from the time I was 16. Like, a lot has happened. Okay, and I feel like nothing has happened. Okay, other than I'm the same human that entered the gates of Unilag 7 years ago. I am the exact same human as to right now. I don't think there has been any personal growth from 16-year-old Dio. It's just a 16-year-old Dio, 23-year-old Dio just voices her emotions properly. 17-year-old Dio is more introspective. I'm saying 17. Dio, you're 23. 23-year-old Dio is more introspective. She has direction. She has focus. She doesn't think boys are quite boring anymore. Dio is still the exact same thing as 16-year-old Dio. And I don't think people grow. Like, we all did, like, yes, they have things added onto them, but, like, they're still the same person, and I can count the number of things that's added onto me. The things added onto me was that I have proper outlines. They're still patchy and not a proper mind map, and they don't have, like, ends, so to speak. But, like, in comparison to my, like, random rambling and like Robotech Wars at 16, they have more structure. My ramblings have more structure. Yay, is that good? Oh my god, I'm getting fucking hot in this towel, but like I hope it makes like a proper difference to the audio, and I would lie to myself that fuck, I have like artistic acoustic. The word is acoustic. I said artistic, autistic. The word is acoustic improvements in this nonsense I'm recording. But then again, it keeps me calm. I have a test tomorrow, and I feel like this, like, having tests every Monday is the perfect time, because I record my podcast on Sunday, and I always talk about my doubts, my experiences, myself as a human, my experiences throughout the week, my thoughts, my processes. So it's like, it totally probably would kind of maybe, like, calm me down till Monday. See that you're talking as if she's alone. There's somebody next to me, but who cares? Fixation on a particular outcome. The outcome that I'm fixated on is incredibly negative. The outcome that I'm fixated on is I would be starving in 7 years' time, and understanding that 7 years is not very far at all. Yeah. And it's sometimes I used to like, okay, am I comparing myself to my mates who have started their masters a year ago? Or because sometimes that's one thing in the whole situation of looking forward, looking behind. You want to look above you, you want to look below you. But looking at either one is fucked up, because you have to have a balance in you. If you keep on looking above you, you'll be reminded of how you are a failure. If you keep on looking below you, you'll be finding irrational comfort and being unable to grow. So it's like understanding that you are an individual. Alone you came, alone you will go. And as much as I'm like, optimistic nihilism, I'm still irrationally afraid of death, and I am not currently subscribing to the whole my life is in the hands of the Almighty. I'm not currently subscribing to that. I'm not atheist, I'm more agnostic. Like, I say I'm Christian agnostic. That's the word. Like, I don't have enough hubris to say like the world revolves around my success, but like the lack of that hubris, or should I say the loss of that hubris, is incredibly soul crushing. Liberating, yes, but like so crushing. The next, feeling like an imposter. I'd say 50-50. I think I'm fucking amazing, but I want stuff without effort. Like, I know I'm fucking amazing, which is like awesome, but like, nah, I don't know. The way I talk, the way I vibe, I talk as if the entire world belongs to me. Of course, I'm always like, oh yeah, Dialogue lacks hubris and whatever, but like, I still operate the 7-year-old mentality of, because the only human experience I can properly quantify as real is my own. Because I'm not in somebody's head. I have not loved somebody deeply, and I don't think as of now, I'm not currently capable of loving somebody with that level of passion and interest in their success and happiness. Yeah. Yes, I know. Yes, Tyra is kind of cold-hearted, but like, it'll be fine. So like, I'd say that and I haven't birthed an individual, because obviously another, like, bringing forth a human from a vagina would probably be like, yes, of course, this is a real human existence. But I think parents also fall into another trap of this human that I have brought out from my body is an extension of myself, which is pretty fucked up. unfortunate for like a lot of children, but like yeah, I think it leads to a lot. I know this started with imposter syndrome, but like I'm going on a tangent. This is just like me currently talking and not writing anything and just having vibes and fun. It's going to be weird if this thing didn't like properly record, because I'm not doing anything and I'm going to post the emptiness by itself. Oh, there's a lot here. Okay. Oh no, this now goes on. Accidentally clicked on another thing. Overcoming imposter syndrome so you can thrive and shine. I don't think I have imposter syndrome. Like I want shine. Like I have an obsession with shining, because which is fucked up. But like it'll be fine. You will be fine. I think sort of. Now, how to face and conquer self-doubt? Meditate. Well, Daya has been attempting to do that, and I want to get a more, I've done it, but shall to try. First test, it won't fuck it up. Journal, that's the one thing. I can't commit myself to structure. Like, I like plan A, plan B, plan C, all that structure. But, like, I can't commit to those fucking plans, except when I have, like, deadlines and management meetings, and when the motivation is external. When I have people, not that, I won't say I have people to I have an outcome. No, rather than say I have people to impress, it's rather more like I have an outcome that I am not the only beneficiary or the only person who might suffer that outcome. Because I understand that it's important that I do my part for the collective. That is non-negotiable. But like when it comes to like there's nobody's going to gain anything out of this other than myself, it becomes quite difficult to continue, which is like, fuck. That you're supposed to be like living your selfish, sexy youth. Like, why the fuck are you being so collective? But like, who cares? Who cares? This whole thing started with me trying to write, but like I need to be more introspective rather than just stating the obvious. I need to be like, where did I pick something from? And I one random thing, I literally had like a reading session, like trying to like do Vasavi, which I wish I did not. Then I discovered something about a speaker that disgusted me. It's current views on something. So it, like for the first like 3 hours of like the class session, I was able to focus, but I was dissociating the words coming out of my mouth. But it also made me understand, like, it also made me properly give, like, life to something that I wanted to talk about. Like, something that I always wanted to do. Understanding that people's words are just their own opinion and their own lived experiences. I'm supposed to take out of that, but not take it as the gospel truth. As much as I say that this is, like, something that I believe, this is something that I understand, that I need to understand that all books, notions, everything, not necessarily all books, like, because textbooks are a rule, guidelines in how you move in a certain industry that cannot be revoked unless you get to a certain level of power. That is, like, all things can be revoked once you get to a certain level of power and authority, but understanding that you have structure, like understanding that, especially self-help books, understanding that things you read, you listen, you hear today are not facts, they are opinions. And yes, opinions are valid, but they are opinions. They are opinions, they are structures that other people have decided to build their life. And absorbing someone's opinion should be independent of the person's character. Or you should also not just take somebody's opinion as word, because because there's one thing that I've always wanted to look at myself, the process of forming an opinion. God, this towel is heavy. I hope it pays off. I hope it fucking pays off, because like, God, Diana hates heat. Is currently under a hot towel and looking weird. Fuck. But who cares? Always question. Keep your journal close. Gently bring up your first belief. For example, the one about appearing ambitious. It's not really about appearing. My whole concept of self-doubt is not, like, I think a lot of problem, people always look at their issues as relational. Yes, I want people to see me as amazing, but the most important thing is I want to see myself as amazing. I'm the most important person in this equation. Like, nobody's going to live my life for me. So it's like, it's always very difficult and silly to me when I say, not silly, because I cannot like question another person's lived experience, but like everybody seems to say that, oh, the source of their self-doubt is other people. And I'm like, no, it's like, I'm just afraid that I'd be hungry. I'm afraid that I won't be able to buy shit. It's like, because like there are a ton of things that I want, and I've had to sit down and think about it. I don't want to fucking do that. Like, I don't, like, they're not a lot that I want, but I want to live a life where I don't have to sit down for hours and think and budget and plan about the shit that I want. Sort of needs, like, because right now what is currently in my head is I want a graphic tablet. Like, I've been saying, Dio, you're going to learn how to draw. Okay, you actually know how to draw, but like you're going to draw consistently every day and ignore the fact that you have fucking aphantasia and don't have the patience for technique. But like, you're going to draw consistently every day, and I've been saying I need to buy a graphic tablet, and I have to think about it. Like, who the fuck has to think about like 11k, spending 11k? Like, who? What kind of working adult has to do that? But then again, the adults that went like on a shopping spree like 2 weeks ago were like, who cares? It's just a constant reminder that this. I think this also has an element of comparison. Like, it's like the reason why I keep downplaying the effect of comparison in my life is that it's not at the forefront of my mind. Like, yes, I know a bunch of other 23-year-olds that can probably afford a ton of shit, but like, I'm not them. I want to afford a ton of shit, so whatever. Next is feel. Act. Yeah, whatever. This is a personal code of conduct. This is basically me trying to create guidelines. I'm very sure I'm probably going to sit down because I do like the sound of my own voice. It gets annoying quite after like a while, but like I do like the sound of my own voice. So it's like I'm going to probably sit down, re-listen. I've listened to this stuff a lot, but like re-listen to a lot of it and like have a proper rule book of my conclusions and understand like who am I as a person. I've recently gotten into mind maps again. Dio's experience in uni with them was like, ugh. And I'm vibing with this. I found a very cool app. I always start the mind map on my phone, go take it to Drive, then finish it on my system, because like you have to pay for the really awesome system app, but the one on the phone is just perfect. Mind Domo or something. So like, yeah, enough with this tiny Buddha, whatever. Free yourself from self-doubt. 10 tips from a professional psychologist. Oh my god, it has been 23 minutes. Wow. You show you how Dio is just trying to pass time because she didn't research any topic. She didn't do anything awesome. And she was like, fuck. And she was like, let's just continue this, because I like how this has become like a routine. Like, my Sunday is incomplete without me doing this. Like, we are literally, okay, I won't say we. Dio is up to like, this is week 36. How the fuck did I commit? Like, I always commit to the weirdest shits. Like, but who cares? So next, are the psychologists and therapists, blah, 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 where does self-doubt come from? Like, all habits, self-doubt can come from a why. That's the one thing. I know this is one thing I always say, like, this is something I've always wanted. I know this has nothing to do with what I just read. Like all habits, self-doubt can come from a wide variety of sources. A lot of people need to understand that just because you've diagnosed the source of somebody's behavior doesn't mean you've diagnosed the source of all versions of that behavior. Because you need to understand that people may exhibit the same symptoms, but the root cause is completely different. And I think we've done that with every fucking simple emotion on this planet. Like, we're just trash humans, but like, who cares? That has become a vibe with Dio, constantly saying, who cares? This is going to be short. It's going to be like 30 minutes. I'm not going into the aromanticness, because it's like, it just, rather than saying I'm aromantic, I'd say like I'm lazy into, like, I would like to put efforts. Like, I'd like to spend on somebody, and until I consider myself not poor, there is not doing relationships. 3 common causes of narcissistic parents. No, I don't think I have those. My parents are pretty chill. Like, why is everybody saying it has to be from your parents? My source of self-doubt is exposure to the environment and realizing I'm not like super awesome. The Drew Sargent theory of motivation. From a young age, many children learn that the best way to motivate yourself is to get tough. Yes. There's the one thing, I think my desire for moving, a lot of the reason why my self-doubt came is that my desire for moving through life became paper thin and unimportant. Like, in my teen years, I was convinced that like whatever, like there's always a next exam, a next deadline, a next something. Then like the horror in year 4 and just like, no, like human, you have to like do this yourself. You have to graduate. You have to do shit yourself. You have to like, there are consequences that is out of a system. Like, there's one thing like writing tests and exams and going through the next stage. It is expected of you. It's an established system. But this is now a situation where you're like, well, yeah, this is you doing you things and you deciding to exist. Like, nobody sent you to do these things. You have to do these things on your own, with your own motivations, with your own expressions. How the fuck did I used to talk for like an hour? Because I'm tired. I think it's because I don't have a prepared topic and I don't have like tangents to go on. Next is the learn difference. Many children, unfortunately, yes. This has nothing. I'd say I have like emotionally immature adults. I'd say they're a real problem in like Nigeria, obviously, because you start to understand that a lot of parents never learned the whole idea of chill, calm down, don't fret. You're going to spread this stress and anxiousness to your children. I know where I get my anxiousness from, but like understanding that you're an individual separate from your parents is always the first step. Like, obviously, a lot of parents still don't understand that their children are individuals separate from self and their children's existence and nothing. Yes, obviously, their children inherit their genetics. A lot of their behaviors are passed down due to like behavioral like proximity and all that nonsense. But like, you need to understand that your children are their own people, they are on their own existence, and you cannot treat them like an extra arm or an extra leg. And understanding the fact that a lot of people just follow on what they feel is an established system, like understanding that there is no system, or this system is just flimsy enough. You don't have to like look at the patterns in your society and follow them. That doesn't make any sense. You can just create your pattern. Like, it's one thing, like for somebody who enjoys existing system and structure, I literally joined this organization because it seems to have an insane amount of structure and order and non-gene wearing people. I am still pressed about the startup that's wanted to employ me, but like, fuck, I like order and structure. I like routine. I like deliverables. I like perfection. I like it. Like I said the last week, I like it when me time is me time, because I want professional satisfaction to come from my job. I want improvements and whatever to come from my desire to improve my deliverables. I don't want it to be like my last job where I had to decide individually on my own to improve myself so that I can move to a completely different field. I want like the improvement of myself to be an extension of me wanting to improve performance in my job and climb higher in the field. So that has rambled on for 30 minutes. She has talked about like shit that nobody really cares about to her. Like, what? How many are you guys? Like 20, 10? I don't know. It'll be fine. It has to be fine. It's not like I'm getting shot at a war, and it's not like I'm not looking down, looking above. It's like looking down is like, oh, like being complacent, and looking up is like being unnecessarily anxious. But like understanding that my lived experience is my lived experience, and my desire to improve the betterment of society is like not wanting to be a nuisance to other people, and also understanding that I just don't like seeing people suffer. Maybe I'll have a conversation about that. And like because me being a global citizen also includes like lofty plans to improve the quality of living of my country. Because I hate seeing children with kwashiorkor. But there's that. It has been a personal code of conduct. I'm Dayo, and I'm probably going to have a breakout. I'm letting this fucking towel touch my face. Have a productive week.